Well, hey there team, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to some more Terra Invicta. So, people are receiving this well, which is great. Excellent, exciting. Can I tab through my people? I have no idea why I can't. My muscle memory tells me that I should be able to. This is killing me. Anyway, maybe there's a bug. Maybe there's something. Who knows? What does this do? Oh, it changes their running order. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, so one thing out of the gate is, oh my god. What are you up to? Who are you? The initiative. I don't like that at all. I threatened to unite Africa. I've never really done it properly. In fact, I've done it so well that the rest of the world starts declaring war on you, which is not good. I mean, I guess that means you're doing something right. So yeah, look, people are saying in the comments, do it, so we will. So we'll probably pivot our strategy now while it's still early. Doesn't hurt that we've gathered up a few control points worth of other just random countries. We can probably click on the nation tab. We can see, you know, we've got a little bit of a foothold in the EU. Oh, what is this? It's like greenhouse gases or something? Is that what's that is? Sustainability, okay. Yeah, okay, I like all this. This is cool. But essentially, this is your well, there's your popularity, right? And what is this? This must be whoever's, yeah, that's my public opinion in that, and this is whoever's the highest. So like in El Salvador, I suppose we're probably the most popular? Yeah, okay. And you can play for that. You can play hearts and minds, which you do to a point. In fact, once we really do scoop up a lot of South Africa, that's exactly what we're going to do. Because once you've got something, defending it is another aspect. In fact, let's just look at that since we were clicking on, you know, South Africa, right? If you can see, this is one of the other factions controls it. If I wanted to try and take this point, I can just send a person to, you know, try and take it. Or actually, you probably can't because of its executive branch. It has a special rule. You have to own these points first. Anyway, but if you want to contest an already taken place, you have to do something else. You can't just rock up and control it. You have to dislodge the previous. And that may well be in the form of a coup or a purge, right? Now, a coup will actually flip the control to you. And this reminds me a lot of a board game called Twilight Struggle. Twilight Struggle, that might be it. Look it up if you're curious, if you're into board games. I used to be, you know, 10, 20 years ago, I was really into board games. I have a whole stack in my garage, you know, like Agricola and Puerto Rico, and, you know, I bet that's something you didn't know. But that's a really good two-player Cold War game, and it's about cooing and taking over each other's countries and dislodging people in a, like this, in a sort of difficult to make tangible power struggle for a location. Anyway, so if you do manage to coup them, well, you need a dude that can coup, and I don't know if I even have that.
Where to? Ready to go.
I don't think I do, actually. This might be overwhelming, but honestly, you get used to these, right? There's only a few. I've only shown you a few. Someone said they were a bit confused about what I was doing with maybe alien investigation. I'll explain that as we get to it again. But a lot of these you don't really do in the early game. You get used to what does what. But Purge is the other thing. Purge would just clear that and make it a 0 point again. But if you hold the point, like if this dude was watching my playthrough and knew that I was thinking about taking over, he should do this, defend interests. So you have to invest to protect and make it very difficult for someone to come in and take that off you. And then you have to work angles like public opinion. So trying to control, see, obviously there's not a lot of the initiative. They're only at 6%. And I'm at 6%, aren't I? No, where am I? The resistance, 7%. So trying to sway the public opinion in your favor before you make a move is a good plan. In fact, that might be exactly what the Academy is doing. Because, like, why do they have an outsized opinion presence here when, like, they don't control anything? They've got the same, you know, that we went public to the world and we still only have 7%. So it's a bit strange that they have so much interest in this region. There you go. They're a bit on par with us. It was all randomly shuffled up a little bit. Anyway, but that could be a precursor to them attempting to take... Oh, look at that. Who likes us? Zambia. Zambia loves us. Yeah. Oh, that is us, right? Yeah, okay. Anyway, cool. So, yes, welcome back. We're going to continue, and I'm going to sort of pivot the strategy a little bit. And just to confirm, we're sort of investigating alien flora hard, because we're going to lean into probably like xenology and protecting terra firma, at least in the short term, is the strategy. What I will do as well, since I'm front-loading some info and we're talking about uplifting Africa, again, I'm not an expert, but I'm also one of the only people online dumb enough to try and do it. If we go to the tech tree, and we go probably full tech tree, and we go into the bottom, which is the more social policy stuff. God. I like the honesty of this Let's Play format, that, in real time I have to try not to look like a dickhead, but at the same time, I don't care if I do. In here, you can see We Are Not Alone leads into... No. We Are Not Alone leads into a lot of this stuff, right? I mentioned clandestine cells previously, and that allows you to unlock more people in your council. But you can see we've got, and we touched on this, arrival economics, domestic politics, sociology, how it's going to affect the social climate, right? And you can see in here, you have things like this, the East African Federation. That's one of the early ones. But you get some really crazy stuff. Nigerian Confederation, right? End of the American Empire. The breakup of Brazil. Restored Commonwealth, The Greater United North America. House of Islam. You can do some weird stuff, right? But what we probably will focus in on is this. East African Federation to get started. Tanzania gains a claim on the following regions. We're getting into a bit Crusader Kings a little bit here. Nairobi, Kigali, Kinshala, right? So what we're probably going to try and do if we're going to try and set this up is try and start with Tanzania and spray out from there, right? I wish there was a way that I could pin this so I could remember, I almost, I keep threatening to plug in a second monitor for these recordings. I almost want to put this in a notepad just to make my life a little bit easier. How many councillors do I have at the moment? 4, right? Nairobi, Kigali, Kinshala, Kisangani. Oh my god, I can't remember all this shit. Where are we? I could have sworn Eritrea was the centre of a lot of this crap. Where are you? Uganda. Oh, there it is, Tanzania. I knew it was in the Middle East somewhere. So, let's explore this. You go to, it's got 2 regions, which is why it's got 2 pips, I think. And we go to relations, manage, no, we can't do any of that because we don't have any control. Okay, but you're going to find that we've got Kenya, Uganda. Who else is neighbouring? Yeah, but you need the Lusaka. Oh, here you go, Kinshala, Kisangani. So the Congo, Kigali, that was one of them, remember? Kampala was probably one of them as well. They all had like K names. Alright, so we can see these little sub-areas. So this is the beginning, potentially is what we're looking at, is taking Tanzania and then expanding Tanzania, right? That's the early going. That doesn't necessarily mean it's going to unite all of Africa, but that's one of the first things that can happen to unite something into a larger power block. Anyway, so let's actually do our turn. So, as we like to do, we look through, 10 XP, gain trait survivor. Very hard to kill in nuclear war or other mass casualty events. I'm not that worried about that, because the only person dumb enough to detonate a nuke this early is me. 16, do you have anything? We'll give him affluent. Again, we're trying to... That will give him another $1 per cycle, and you can see our income's gone right up already. No one else has any more XP. 20 is usually where stuff happens. Right? And then we'll just see if any of these aren't grayed out. That's sort of my main focus at the moment. We don't have any spare council seats, do we? No, this is clandestine cells. Cool. Oh, what was that, actually? Hang on a sec. This slot will show an enemy councillor we have turned to our cause. Oh. Well, that's motivation for trying to turn people. I don't know anything about that, to be honest. Maybe we'll look into that as we go along. Research is good. Characters are good. We will... Tanzania, how come you only have 42%? Aren't you like one of my best? One of my best?
What's the op?
78%'s good. We like that.
We'll bring this nation to our side.
Oh, I guess she's more of an investigator of aliens. 64%'s okay. What about you? What's your default? 90%. Let's go. So we're actually going to put 2 councillors on that. And the hope is that back to back, they take both those control points, right? It looks like you've got a foothold in Kenya. Can I take that executive branch? Yeah, see, I'm not allowed to while he's there. So, I mean, unless you're particularly good at purging, unlikely. See, because there's a lot of stuff against you. A lot of stuff.
Ready to go. So
what we're probably going to do is just take some surrounding regions. You can see their percentages in small. 82%, 88%. Let's do that. And that's got the Lusaka region, which we want.
Bringing them on board.
And then you, what can you do? Because you're not really good at this. 70%? We'll take 70%.
Putting our people in place.
Done. All right. Confirm. Unpause. Speed her up. Off we go. Geez, we better be recording. Very good. Alright, anything interesting going on in the world events? Not
Our
really.
presence is growing.
Okay, well we've got Tanzania for one.
Presence is growing.
Zambia. Here we go, select our advisory team. We now may appoint our faction's chief advisors. With our management team on board, we may now recruit our core group of advisors to assist our interactions and oversight with nations aligned with our cause. So we can focus on economic development. Investment points in economy are increased by 10%. Maybe some steely-eyed missile men and women. Found space program is increased and boost is increased. Now look, that's something that we've talked about being important, but in the playbook of Let's Unite Africa, that might not be that important. It might be more important to get Africa higher up, uplifted. Military priority and build army. I don't know if that's the way either. Emphasize aid, welfare and knowledge. I actually think that's probably more sensible for our
supporters are in place.
aims at the moment. Oh, there you go, Tanzania. So we probably conquered that in full.
Taking over.
Malawi. Here you go. Look at that. 2 pips controlled. Excellent. Russia, like Russia has a point that's open. Yeah, but even with 1 billion influence backed into it, it probably would be a 1% chance for me. You idiot. Get back in line. Get out of my office. You time waster. Okay, cool. So, I'm not going to worry too much about anything other than Tanzania and its borders. Right, sorry, let me just rephrase because my mind is racing. The arrival technology or social policy, I'm not worried about that explicitly because we know that Tanzania is the jewel of that first policy, right? So that policy will come to us and we may even move our research if we get in front of the flora research. But as long as we hold Tanzania and her neighbors, I'll be happy because when it pops over, we probably have, you know, claims, have the ability for it, right? But talking about Scarlet's jewel, as it were, we might set defend interests. Actually, let's just get into the habit, right? We'll check everyone's XP. We're good, and then all of this is grayed out. That's fine, and this is just going to be the motions that we go through, I think. We're going to see defend interest. Now, defend interest doesn't have a percentage chance. You just spend quite a bit of influence to just lock up basically Tanzania, right? So we're going to do that.
Protecting our interests.
At your service.
I'm not that worried if we power struggle on the borders, but as long as we don't lose Tanzania, that's the plan. Okay, let's continue to expand because we've still got a whole bunch to go. 93%, that sounds pretty good to me.
We'll be running this place in no time.
Ready for my mission.
Yeah, I bet you are. 85%. Excellent. Get me Rwanda, please.
We'll bring this nation to our side.
Where do you need me?
And I mean, we could go Madagascar. That still falls into the purview, I think. See these things here? These are like more... Well, you can see the how do you say that? Ratnakaran states, right? But here might be France. Yeah, France has a claim to Madagascar, I believe. Or it might be... No, it's this out here. Saint Denis, France. Oh, maybe not. Okay, cool. You know, when you're talking about little speckled islands or larger, you know, more colonial outposts, it starts to get a bit messy. We'll lock down Madagascar. We'll do that. Okay. And our research is pottering along down here at full speed. It's only going to go so fast because we're only going to get so much research. You can see here our research efforts. In fact, if we had a look at our nation states, you could sort by research, right? Greece is giving us bloody 40. Whereas like El Salvador gives us 12. So and you can see them changing up and down. We should probably roll out social policy for how to fix these, but we'll worry about that later. At the moment, what I'm going to just do is fly through some turns. I want to max out our pips, and then maybe we'll worry about how we're going to save Africa, right? We'll come up with a plan, and we'll probably roll it out to everywhere. Defend interest mission complete. Cool. So you can see the little shield on that, and that will last for a while. Our adversaries are cracking down in Belarus, right? Crackdown is sort of a precursor. This protects against Crackdown, in a way. Crackdown really gives an advantage. They're setting up to take Belarus from me, is what that says. Same as Greece, right? I'm not that worried. We'll just let it hold and let them burn resources taking it, since we have now committed to pivoting to South Africa, or Africa at large, right? Mozambique, Madagascar, and each of these successes will be giving them XP, right? It's not the worst thing to be taking over these easier to control parts of the world, because, you know, I don't think you get XP increase if you fail an attempt. So if you're trying to get US over and over again, your character's not going to go anywhere. Okay, so 10 XP. We will check them at 10 because sometimes well, not you. We know that because sometimes they'll get affluent. Okay, that's fine. We can't get any of these. Aces, right? Why can't I have that? That's because it's got it needs 100 influence. Oh, okay. $950, and we've got 100. Yeah, so we don't have a lot. That's okay. That's fine. I'm happy with everything so far. The other thing we can do is start like shoring up public opinion, that sort of thing. I'm pretty happy. Like I said, as long as Tanzania is kind of defensively locked up, that's fine. We're just going to focus on maxing out our points here. So we'll
At your service.
We'll plug you in first because you're kind of the most useless. 72%, we can do that.
Establishing our presence.
Ready for orders.
90%. Somalia, let's go.
Establishing control.
Reporting in.
76 is fine, that's within my personal threshold. We don't really want to spend influence if we can help it. Oh, does Somalia have a second point? No. So, okay. But Congo does. Okay, well, we'll send you to
Putting our
Congo.
people in place.
We believe we can join them as brothers and sisters.
Okay, so
if we only convince them we are worthy.
Now, I'm not 100% sure what triggers their profile now, because it's not like they're getting a game event saying go public. This might be more us becoming aware of the Academy, or it might have something to do with global popularity. I'm not sure.
The Sirat al-Baqarah teaches that
Mission
in
to
the
space.
creation of heaven and
We
earth,
have encountered the Academy. There you go.
signs of Allah. Let us heed those words and join together as we take our search into the stars.
Excellent.
Director Khalid al-Ashgar from his khutbah at the first conclave of Muslim astrophysicists.
Muslim astrophysicists. Well, there you go. Okay, so Mission to Space has been researched, and it looks like the Academy... Is that who it is? The Academy contributed the most, and they've selected orbital shipbuilding as a new direction, which, you know, as again, we want social policy. That's not really what we want, but we're not that worried, right? One domino at a time. Okay, existing in space is a different animal than merely traversing it. If we plan to go from tourist to resident, we must adapt. Logistics requires resupply missions planned months in advance, while engineering must cope with long-term exposure to solar radiation and the rigors of equipment maintenance in a vacuum. Likewise, our psychologists must develop a training regimen so personnel are able to maintain peak performance in an environment where up and down do not exist. We have, of course, been able to travel into space for some time, but now we must establish how to do so easily, regularly, and cost effectively, and in far greater numbers than ever before. This renewed mission to space thus entails a mission to change many of our most fundamental preconceptions. Yet all these hardships are entirely necessary, for once we are oh my god, I'm having a hard morning. Beyond Earth's orbit, we can we hope to explore, exploit, and ultimately even settle upon neighboring worlds, and in time, perhaps far beyond. So the following technologies are now unlocked, as you know, this being a prerequisite. What do we got? Deep space propulsion concepts, orbital shipbuilding, which they have now picked, outpost habs, and space tourism. But now you can see here, the following projects may unlock for us to research in the future. Our current chance to unlock a project once all prerequisites are fulfilled is also shown. So there's a 100% chance that we unlock it. I'll show you, because why not? It'll unlock in here. Show obsolete, show by ascending. Yeah, I don't think there's a way to show it. Faction modifiers. Oh, okay. But there will be some sort of dice roll running in the background. And I think that's the only tech that we now have prerequisite to unlock. So we'll just keep track of it. What was it? Habs or something like that? Anyway, resume. They've picked the new research. We're not really interested in global research at the moment. Oh, I think clandestine cells is potentially unlocked, maybe? We control the Congo. Oh, it's nice. Control point lost. Belarus. We knew this was coming. You can see
Our presence is growing.
Somalia's ours. I don't think we've lost, like, we haven't failed a single control point roll this turn. This is excellent. There you go. They're moving in on Greece.
Start taking over.
We're not
We've
super
gained
worried.
significant support.
Uganda, let's go. That was success all round. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay. We're probably, what are we at? 100 out of 182?
Ready for my mission.
And you can see this is grayed out. Investigate alien activity. So, at the moment, There's nothing that we can do. Now, that's not to say that there isn't alien activity. Your guys have a chance of bumping into events that are happening, or like other counselors that are hidden away. Like, there could be someone in the Congo with her, but there's a roll chance whether she even bumps into the enemy, right? Same goes for aliens and whatever they're up to. What we can do is scan surveil areas, and that scans that and the close areas, and there's usually a very high chance you'll find something. That's how we found that that alien flora incursion, if you recall, right? Like, we went to the drop site in China and we investigated it, but I also scanned while I was there just because I know. Anyway. So yeah, this doesn't mean there's no alien activity, it just means we don't have the tech, the know-how, the footprint, or the actual geolocative presence to really know what's going on. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, we've got a lot of stuff there. %, even though it's a bit isolated. Let's get Namibia.
Taking control.
Standing by.
What about this? Republic of the Congo.
Establishing our presence.
I think you can actually unite the
service.
Congo fairly easily. Actually, let's just check. So we control Congo, obviously. Relationships, you can see rivals, right? Uganda, Rwanda, and then repairing relationships is what we're going to start doing, because we are the puppet strings behind the whole nation, right? You can manage allies, and what you can do is... Hang on, 3 regions. 3 regions? Oh yeah, I guess. Okay, so the regions aren't strictly tied to GDP, right? But Congo and Republic of Congo should probably have claims on one another. Anyway, look, what you can do is... You can... Why can't we move you towards normal? End rivalry is a fail, because we can't end the rivalry until a certain date. May improve relations. There are these sort of ceilings, right? Which makes sense, you know, time heals all wounds, right? So for the moment, we can't do anything about that. We can, however, do this. And it's going to cost us resources. Allying with Tunisia, or Tanzania, what am I saying? I'm getting confused by all the different names. That's probably not a bad idea, let's do that. And you can see, there you go, it sets a date. What is today's date? 22nd of November, 20th of February, December, January. So it's about 3 months, a quarter, right? And if we exit out of here, you can see here, new alliance. Congo, under the control of the resistance, and Tanzania have formed an alliance. They'll defend each other if attacked, and have the option to join each other's wars of aggression. They'll be able to forge closer ties later. There you go. Done. Might be easier if I start from Tanzania, right? Manage relations. Look at this. I can really start uniting the tribes. You can degrade relationships on purpose if you want to, because as much as this has all been about control through these little pawns, through agents, once you control nations' armies, you can actually start wars, invade, and you could physically go in there and take the control off them with an army, right? Who said brute force doesn't solve anything? Now, cost of proposed changes, 40. Look, we might as well, right? We might as well. Done. Look at this. Tanzania is allied with bloody everybody. You can see they're all together. And this makes them a bit more of an intimidating block. Not that I really have control of an army. I don't think I do. Nope. Nukes. Get the nuclear program up and running. Okay. Okay. Let's get you capping something. Uganda, we'll take another point.
Establishing control.
Good work, mate. Great work.
Reporting in.
And I think Lower Guinea. Gotta be careful with this crossing. Every game I've ever played, Eritrea is the jewel of everyone's bloody eye. Let's go South Sudan.
Taking control.
Yeah. Alright. Happy. Happy. I don't know if I checked upgrades and organizations. Different organizations rotate in and out. You know, they get created, that sort of thing.
We've gained significant support.
Alright, that's 1.
We are taking over.
That's 2.
Our supporters
3.
are in place.
4.
We've got our people in place.
That's excellent. Hey! Alien flora complete. So this is our personal project. There was a limited amount to be gleaned from our study of the vegetative life form that we have dubbed xenoflora, but not for a lack of trying. The issue is that we have thus far been unable to fully crack its genetic makeup, for elements thereof are so, well, for lack of a better word, alien, as to be thoroughly inscrutable to us at the present time. Neither have we been able to divine any clues as to its origin, other than to say that it most certainly is not of this earth. While we have previously observed some correlation between xenoflora growth and the alien crash sites, causation now seems highly probable. Which is to say, the crashes are... The flora is getting out of the crashes, right? Even its behaviour supports the conclusion. It spreads faster than any terrestrial flora or even fungus, and with eerie, almost machine-like regularity. To suggest that the xenoflora has been in some way genetically altered or even wholly designed would not be an unrecognisable hypothesis. If left unchecked, it could very likely colonise a region in record time, preventing the growth of all other flora. To what end we do not yet know, it would therefore be prudent to find a way to limit the organism's spread, whether through military or biological means. Okay, cool. So we haven't learnt a lot, but what's there? We've learnt stuff. So what does that tech do other than tech tree? I don't really think it does much other than just push us forward. So this is the limited tree. We Are Not Alone has not been done yet. Skywatch complete. Okay. Allows us to detect aliens. Okay, well look, it's done. It's done now, we've researched it. You know, it might have been more as a mission objective thing, actually. Oh, have I pressed the wrong button? Yeah, this one. Investigate crash alien signatures. Investigate alien abductions. Conduct surveil locations missions near any alien crash sites. If abductions are detected, send a counselor. Right? So we're probably waiting for another crash, right? Research alien origin. So we want Deep System Skywatch, which I think we're already researching, or looks like one of the factions is well onto. And then we want to engage with a facility, which we can't really force. Control nations, industrialize space, build the council. We're pretty much on path, on course, right? As far as like a personal project, we don't have anything particularly sexy. I mean, look, we can just plug that in. But what we probably want to do... Oh, look, We're Not Alone is literally about to unlock. Probably as soon as I unpause. This might be perfect timing, actually. Right, let's just do that. It might auto go into the next thing. Oh, hang on, we're not going to be able to pinch that. 161 on Deep System Skywatch. Look at that. Okay, so here's the plan. We'll let this tick over. Whatever they pick, we will stack research so we can grab the reins and redirect the next one. I think.
The dreamer in me wants to believe it
There we
will
go,
bring a
perfect.
golden age of advancement and prosperity for all mankind. But I'm a realist. I know better. Any race advanced enough to find us would be advanced enough to end us.
Probably.
Likely without even regarding us. Commander Fiona Ayawade, NATO Symposium on First Contact.
That's our chick. That's our face of the team. Okay, so the Protectorate have done it, and they have chosen to go with biotechnology. That's okay. That's cool, and we're going to help them get that biotechnology tech because we want the next one. And I kind of like that, the 2-3 steps removed strategy. We don't really care about biotechnology, but what we do care is what comes after. The quiet assurance that humans have carried for so long is gone. The knowledge that we share the universe with at least one other sapient species has caused reverberations throughout our entire society. The very fabric, I've bloody lost my place. The very fabric of our civilization is being stretched to its breaking point as conflicting voices shout ever louder above one another. It falls to our leaders, current and future, to rally our thrilled and frightened masses. Now, more than ever, we must come together as a people and prove to the universe that although we may no longer be its center as we once believed, we are no less important. Okay, so this tech now gives us... Well, this is what we wanted researched, honestly, because now we've got arrival domestic politics, arrival economics. I think we want domestic politics, I'm not 100% sure. So this is good. Arrival international relations, sociology, terrestrial military science. Now, as you can see, they've pivoted to biotechnology, which is not one of these. So in a way, they've moved the research to a different direction. So we're going to try and correct that next. And now clandestine cells have a chance to unlock, which is a project we might personally be interested in, which will be the ability to unlock another seat on our team. Okay. So we'll just go continue. Let the turn finish up. Alright, excellent. We're moving a little bit faster now. We're at 113 control points as far as nations go, so, you know, we've got a little bit of a foothold. Why? What is this? Oh, that must be a bug. That was weird. Did you see that? Anyway. So we'll worry on controlling all of them. We do have some boost. You can see here, Hungary, Greece, and Belarus. Funnily enough, the ones that people are trying to take off us have boosts. All of these countries that we're taking over, they just have no boost program. So we're going to have to put a lot of resources into them developing space programs, basically. But I believe if you unite them, they share a lot of stuff, including, you know, space programs, right? So something like getting Tanzania right up there and then getting it to fold its sister nations in will, you know, they'll all inherit the boost or the space program. It might save us having to invest in a space program. Actually, that's an excellent idea, Scarlet. Clever. I think that will work. I don't know. I'll have to leave that with me. That might be a good plan. We'll try and make sure we don't lose Tanzania, so lock it down and don't let it fall into unrest, because that's another danger of a lot of these African nations, is they're very unstable. Here's subversion. If we let that fall too low, the AI Tanzanians will coup us out of government. So we might just focus on suppressing the shit out of this place, which we can do manually, and we'll talk about that later. Might just put a boot on Tanzania and put its entire budget into its space program. Maybe. And the sister nations we might actually uplift correctly, but no space program. It sounds like a good plan. Hopefully I remember it. Anyway, team, let me know. Any feedback, any thoughts, questions? There's a lot going on. I'm not an expert by any means, but I know some stuff, so I'm happy to try and help muddle through it. Otherwise, I might just leave it there for the time being, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.